Hello there, we're back with LightSpeed English, and this is another interview with a native speaker. This time we're with...
Hello, my name's Daniel.
Daniel, okay. So Daniel, thank you for doing this interview.
My pleasure.
Daniel, so we're related, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
What is the relationship?
I am your son.
You are my son. This is my son, Daniel. It's a big lad, isn't he? So, Daniel, what I wanted to do was just to talk to you about the school system here in the UK. Okay, it's from when I was young, it's changed a lot in the way that people refer to the schools and the years, etc. So, at the moment, how old are you?
I am 16, nearly 17.
Nearly 17. So, what year are you in at the moment?
I'm in what is known as year 12.
Year 12. Okay. So, can you just talk us through the years, so if we understand them? So, you start in year 1, yes?
Well, at the very beginning, you go into something what's called reception, which is when you're about 4 or 5 years old, and that's the first year of school.
Okay.
When you learn to write and able to write your name, etc.
All right. So that's reception, and that's kind of 0 year, yes?
Yeah.
All right. And then the first school that you go into, it used to be called the infants, but what is it now?
It's generally called primary school.
Primary school. Okay. And primary school is from reception, and then from year 1 through to what year?
To 6. 6 is the last year of primary.
Okay, so the children now say, I'm in year 1, I'm in year 2, 3, 4. So 6 last year of primary.
Yeah.
After primary, year 7, what happens? Where do you go?
You go to another school that's called secondary school or comprehensive school.
Secondary or comprehensive? Is there a difference?
Not much of a difference. It's just you get older, so you start doing more.
Okay, all right. So, but I mean, is there a difference between secondary and comprehensive?
Oh no, it's just another name for it.
Okay, so secondary school, comprehensive school, and that's from year 7 through to what year?
Up until year 11.
7 to 11.
Yes.
All right. Okay. When you've finished your year 11, what options do you have then?
There are many different options, but you're most likely to go into higher education, which I'm in now, which is year 12 and 13.
Higher education.
Yes.
And where can you receive your higher education?
Sometimes the secondary schools you go to have that higher education, but sometimes you have to go elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, the secondary school I went to didn't have the sixth form, as it's known.
Okay.
So I had to go elsewhere.
Right. So year 12 and 13.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're generally called sixth form years.
Sixth form, yeah.
Sixth form or college? Do you call it college as well?
Well, college and sixth form are two different things.
Right. Okay.
A sixth form is where you do your A levels.
Okay.
But college is generally you just do like a 3-year course on something, for instance, hairdressing.
Okay, so college is more for other kinds of education, not the preparation for university.
No, it's if you go to college, you don't generally go to university afterwards.
Okay, so, right. So when you're preparing yourself for university, you're in year 12 and 13 and it's sixth form.
Yes.
All right, okay. Then after you finish sixth form, what do you do then?
Generally you go on to university.
All right.
But if maybe it doesn't go well, you can always go do an apprenticeship, which is where you work for someone for a little bit of pay and you get experience from it.
Okay. Okay. So we're having some child issues in the background here. Can you hear them? So you're going to go on to university.
Yes.
That's your plan, yes?
That's my plan.
So you've got one more year to do in sixth form.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which university would you like to go to?
I'm thinking about Newcastle University.
Why Newcastle?
Because it's in what is known as the Russell Group universities, which means they have got very good research standards.
Research standards.
Yeah.
Okay. And why would research standards interest you?
Because I'm going to go do my PhD, which is all about researching something.
Okay.
For instance, I'll be doing mine on diseases and help trying to cure them.
Okay, on diseases and how to cure diseases. Okay,
Yeah.
That's very nice, very nice. Okay. At the moment in the UK, the cost of going to the university has just gone
Very expensive.
So, for example, for your university degree, the first degree, if you're going to go on to do a PhD, but the first degree, how many years is that going to take?
That's 3 or 4 years.
Depending on...
Because sometimes 1 year you go out and work in a lab or a company.
All right, so that's it. You have to get some practical
Yeah.
experience, yeah? Okay. So if you were at the university for 4 years, how much does it cost for 1 year?
It varies depending on the university, but it can be up to about £9,000 a year.
Just for the cost of the course?
Yes.
Right. So £9,000, and then you've got to live.
Yes. Then there's living costs around the university if you
Yeah.
don't live near there anyway.
Okay, so living here in the UK, typically people travel away from home to go to university. It's not normal to stay at home when you're in university, is
No,
it?
it's not.
No.
Unless you live close to the university
Okay.
anyway.
You have an option. You have Durham University next to your home.
Yeah, which is very close.
But you're not choosing to go there.
No.
Okay. All right. So £9,000 plus living costs, which might be what, 5,000, 6,000?
Something like that.
Yeah. So maybe £15,000 a year
Just for the first 3 years of university.
for the first 3 years. So if I do a quick calculation, that is £45,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's that money coming from, Daniel?
I have to get a student loan from the government,
Okay.
which then means I have to pay it back over the
Sure.
long term.
Okay. How does the student loan work? So you have to pay that back. Do you have to pay it back within 5 years or 10 years?
No, what happens is when you don't actually have to start paying it back until you're at a job that pays more than 21,000 a year.
All right. So if you've got a job at 19,000 salary, you wouldn't be paying.
You wouldn't have to pay it.
All right. So only 21 and above, yeah?
And then once you I think it's 30 years, it cancels if you haven't paid it.
So if you haven't paid it within 30 years of starting to pay it,
Yeah.
or is it 30 years of finishing your...
I think it's 30 years of finishing the degree.
Your degree. It cancels itself out.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And for example, any idea if you were earning, let's say, £30,000 a year, do you know how much you would have to pay back of that to your student loan?
I'm not sure. It does all depend on the wage. Like the more you earn, the more you have to pay back.
For sure, yeah. Okay. All right. How do you feel about starting off life with a debt of £45,000 or more, or 60,000 by the time you've done your PhD?
Well, I feel like it's worth it because you've got obviously the PhD out of it, and you don't have to pay it back massively, so it's nothing that's gonna stop you from paying your bills or anything. It's a very small amount per month.
Okay. Okay. What do you think of the job opportunities for people coming out of university now?
Sadly, because so many people are going to university, the jobs are obviously becoming less. But it depends also which university you go to, because, for instance, Newcastle has a 100% employment rate once you've finished.
100% employment rate?
100%.
Wow, that's good. Okay, so that's why you're going to Newcastle, yeah?
That's what-
And do you know what Durham has as a percentage rate?
I'm not sure, but it's a little bit less, I think.
Okay.
But also Durham isn't specified in the course I want.
Ah, okay. So it's not an option.
No.
Okay. All right. And what about the life as a student here, or as a university student? What do you think? What kind of life is it? Do you think?
To be honest, most students in the first year don't really do much. They just go out and drink, because they have all the student loans, so they have all their money now. So.
Okay.
But once you get to the second and third year, that's when it becomes more intense, and you stay inside, and you don't have time to go out
Okay.
and do anything.
All right. So it's the first year's party year.
Yeah, and the rest is
It's serious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quite a lot of people who finish because it's so intense, all these university years, when they finish, they sometimes have a year out, year sabbatical. Yeah. Have you had any thoughts about doing something like that?
I've thought about it, because you don't have to do it at any specific time. Like, for instance, I could, instead of going straight to university, I could do the gap year then.
Right.
But
so it's called a
gap year.
Gap year. Mm-hmm. Okay.
But if you don't know what you want to do in that gap year, then it's pointless, because supposed to use it for get experience, go to work different places.
Sure.
So then, you can write that down on your CV.
Absolutely, yeah. And some people go abroad and or do sponsors for a year and cycle around the world and things like that. Okay. So do you think you'll do a gap year?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay. Excellent, Daniel. Well, that's been really informative. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
So that's all for this interview. Have fun. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.